Woo! Good thing you kept that guy in the fourth period. Can I just say, it's got to suck to be Rui Hachimura. Whatever transpired here, somehow it was Rui's fault. Only LeBron is allowed to go stand in the corner, Rui. Speaking of Rui, he only got one shot attempt that night, thanks to 30% James being in there. Wait for it, and there's your face of the league, folks. Gee, what will we do when we don't get to look at that anymore? Thus far in this video, I've only used third period footage. You know, the period that LeBron went 0 for 3 from the field? That would put him at 2 out of 7 on the night thus far. That guy on his left, by the name of Luka Doncic, was 57.7% from the field, but let's ignore him. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why LeBron's chucking these shots up. Well, it's just the way he is, and of course there's another reason we're going to get to. Let's talk about someone who you don't see on the floor. Dalton Knecht plays the same position, small forward, as LeBron James. Dalton shot 71% from the field, 5 of 7 shooting. He was 60% from the three-point line. He only got 15 minutes. This makes me think about the coach. Maybe if Dalton had been in instead of stat patter James, you could have closed the gap in that lead. 13 points on 7 attempts compared to LeBron, 10 points on 10 attempts. And by the way, Dalton got his 13 points without a single trip to the free throw line. Of course, LeBron James always gets a little extra help from the refs, at least attempts at help if he can make those free throws. Another option that would have been a good move to give more attempts to, Austin Reeves shot 50% that night. LeBron came 5th in scoring on his own team again, while being 3rd in attempts. Is that not a sign that this streak isn't worth talking about anymore? What are you going to do? Wheel him out there in a wheelchair and help him put it in with underhanded shots for the next few years just to make sure he keeps getting 10 points? He was the 5th option on the team. Why is he in the game? So what are we talking about here? We're talking about coaching decisions. We're talking about leadership decisions. We're talking about poor leadership and poor coaching decisions. Oh, I know. It must have been the defense. Look how helpful LeBron is on offense when he's not shooting, by the way. Anyway, LeBron is gone, and I'm stopping so you have a chance to count. There are 5 Suns players, 4 Lakers. LeBron has taken off early, as he always does, to get into an advantageous defensive position, except look at the guy on the top of the screen. He's going to take off in a sprint, and one would hope that the Laker that got back early would stop that breakaway. Instead, LeBron James... When he re-enters the frame, we see him running away from the threat. Jog walking away from the threat, completely oblivious of the guy behind him, as a matter of fact. This is case in point of, well, it's not my job. If you're going to talk about basketball IQ and run away to get a head start on defense and the threat is coming, the high basketball IQ move is to stop the scoring threat. Not to just wait and blame someone else. Well, it wasn't my man. And
a timeout called by J.J. Redick. Just not happy with what he's seeing right now. Just incredible streaks in NBA history. He has scored double digits. LeBron James.
It's hard to get to the main focus of the video when LeBron James and the announcers keep providing a buffet of shit that you have to wade through. For example, multiple content creators and even the mainstream media have already pointed out that J.J. Redick was getting mad at LeBron James at this point. He's over goofing off with the other team while his team's getting blown out.
Bad as it gets when Brooks is the guy doing damage to the purple and gold.
You can hear JJ increasing his volume as he yells at LeBron.
Lakers want a timeout, and then Fisher don't.
Not even paying enough attention to know that the coach is trying to communicate with him, forcing his coach to call a timeout, and he still didn't listen to his coach. Different topic. Maybe we'll circle back to that. I want to make sure you understand that while LeBron James is behaving in that childish, disrespectful manner, he's being praised by the announcers. They're completely ignoring his antics. They're completely ignoring that he isn't listening to his coach. They are talking about this scoring streak while he has 4 points and is being blown out. He hasn't even achieved it yet, and they're talking about it. They have it up on the screen as if it's already been accomplished this game, as if it's even an accomplishment. I mean, you don't need further evidence than this game to show that it's all BS.
January 5th, 2007 was the last time he did not reach double figures in a game, and LeBron...
You see that right there? That was a lie. The people listening just got lied to. That is not the last time he didn't reach double figures in a game. I just realized another insulting fact. Insulting in that LeBron James was still in the game. Phoenix Suns pulled Dillon. He had 33 points in the third, and that's what he ended with. He played for 3 minutes in the fourth, and then he sat out. But LeBron stayed in. My God.
Score in double figures. And that could help him as he gets to the free throw line.
Yes, moronic announcer, him flopping is going to help him get from 4 to 6 at the charity stripe. 4 points to 6 points. I tell you, they're going to have to enforce the no flopping rule just to protect the cameramen and other people around the court, because these guys never look. They don't look where they're going. They're busy putting on the drama. They're busy falling down. They're looking at the rim as they backpedal. They're going to hurt somebody. As entertaining as the game footage is, most of today's episode is going to be talking about Doug Collins' decision with Michael Jordan in 2001 and how that type of coaching exposes today's fraudulent NBA and JJ Redick's fraudulent coaching decisions when it comes to LeBron James. It's hard for me not to compare the behavior of the coaches. Let's set aside LeBron James for a moment and think about the behavior of Doug Collins benching Michael Jordan when Michael Jordan wasn't shooting well against the Pacers in 2001. He had 6 points in the third period and did not play in the fourth period. Doug Collins made a coach's decision. You may not agree with that coach's decision. Maybe you do agree with the coach's decision, but at least it seems like a coaching decision. Hey, you're not playing that great. I want to rest you for upcoming games. And, Michael Jordan turns around and scores 45 and 51 in those next two games. Maybe it wasn't such a bad decision. But it just really made me think about how JJ Redick didn't even make a coach's decision. He made a scripted drama decision. Consider that Jordan's terrible game that got him benched, he shot 2 for 10 and did not have a fourth period opportunity to try and improve on that. Well, the game that LeBron James stayed in until he got his double digits, he shot 3 for 10. Wow, so much better. He had 0 rebounds, 3 turnovers, 30% from the field, 25% from the three-point line. Those are the performance arguments in a game that was, by many people's opinions, a blowout. Now, add to that LeBron James sat out the previous game, supposedly because of managing a nagging foot injury, and had already missed 3.5 weeks already this season. But let's leave him in. I mean, you want to talk about not making responsible coaching decisions when it's supposed to be about the actual game or a player's health? Come on. This is just pure script for a meaningless streak. It's not that I've ever thought highly of JJ Redick as a person or as a coach, but this just really shoves your face right down in the dog doo-doo. Even if you were still trying to pretend that this was basketball and not some BS drama show that poses as basketball, they won't even let you pretend. They just shove your face right in the stinky reality of what they're doing. Hey, LeBron, skip out on your team. Hey, LeBron, go do some podcasts or go on some goofy kids show when you're skipping out on the team. Hey, LeBron, demand max money. Hey, LeBron, demand that your kid be hired to the team. Hey, LeBron, demand that your podcast buddy be hired to the team. Hey, LeBron, perform poorly. Hey, LeBron, chit-chat with the other team's bench instead of paying attention. I mean, over and over and over and over again. And what happens? JJ gives him what he wants. Sounds like a very simple point that I'm making, but I'm wondering how many other people are thinking this. The difference between Doug Collins making an actual coaching decision and JJ Redick making a non-coaching decision. A let's keep a BS streak going decision at the detriment of the team. And if you believe any of these injury reports, then it's at the detriment of the player also. Some people say they think they see the ice cracking, they see JJ losing his patience, and yet he still seems to be bound to ultimately serving LeBron James's agenda. Or maybe he can push back a little bit because LeBron James has something to lose also, in that JJ Redick was his idea, and therefore JJ Redick needs to look like he's doing a good job. Well, wait a minute, no, LeBron always denied his involvement with JJ, didn't he? Like, that's believable. But anyway, like any good politician, just deny. So I guess LeBron's in the clear. Let's look at that fourth period really quick, shall we? That fourth period that LeBron James helped his team so much. That fourth period that it was important enough to forget his battles with injury and forget that it's a blowout and leave him in the game. Well, we kick things off with a turnover. Great, good having you in the game there, LeBron. Next, a phantom foul to get LeBron James to the free throw line. This is just absolute BS. Look at the trajectory of LeBron's body. Look at him aiming at the defender who is actually standing straight up and down. And then at the end of it all, LeBron gets away with shoving the defender after the play's over. No consequences. Anyway, LeBron can only hit 1 out of the 2, but one of those gets him from 6 points up to 7. Let's not forget the importance of screaming like a bitch so you get that call.
For keeping that streak.
Wow, that's enough for me to idolize him. So inspiring. So all he needs now is a 3-pointer to hit 10. He eventually hits that, but he does take one more shot before JJ sends him to the bench at 5:44. This leaves LeBron James at 3 of 10. And I know you LeBron fans, that you just want to deflect and you just want to point at anything that's ever happened in history except for look at what's in front of you, and you want to say, hey, Jordan had bad games too. Well, look, he got benched for it. With complete disregard from the coach that he had an entire fourth period to get 4 points to keep a scoring streak going. That's because the coach was actually coaching. And Michael Jordan didn't get mad because he wanted to be coached. He wasn't worried about a 10-point scoring streak. I gotta tell you, the way that Jordan nonchalantly accepted this instead of being upset shows how meaningless a 10-point scoring streak is to an actual GOAT. Quite the contrast from a phony who is desperately pursuing the continuance of what is already a false streak. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is that the difference in the coach's behavior kind of gives away how fake the game is now, compared to it still being at least kind of real back then. But JJ's got a multi-million-dollar coaching job thanks to LeBron, so I guess he has to take it up the butt with the disrespect every now and then, huh? I guess that's just the price. But if you're taking the game seriously, if you actually care about winning, if you want to mount a comeback, maybe the NBA Cup actually matters to you because you pretended like it mattered back when you won. Stupid thing. Maybe if any of this matters, you pay attention. Maybe you're so intense because you care about winning that you're focused on the game and not jawing and laughing it up with the other team. Maybe you don't cost your coach a timeout, that if your team does close the gap, you're desperately going to need that timeout at the end of the game. Why did Rui Hachimura only have 1 shot attempt in this game? 10 points on 10 field goal attempts. You know what? I think Rui could have done better. I know 3 turnovers is an improvement for LeBron turnover James, but it's 3 more than the rebounds that he got. It's more than the assists that he provided. Did this guy bring anything to the table for the Lakers, or is he just there to take? Of course, we all know that answer and have known that answer for a very long time. You know, some people don't like that Jordan played when he was old, or they kind of wish the Wizards years didn't happen. And some people say, those Wizard years were actually pretty good. And I'll tell you this, you weren't wondering constantly if he was going to show up. You weren't wondering constantly if he was going to fake an injury or load manage. Nope. Until his season was ended, he was showing up for every game. And after Doug Collins benched him, he came back dropping 45 and 51. LeBron James? What's LeBron James going to do after this? We don't know if he'll even play. And we don't know what the excuse will be this time. What we do know is that we probably shouldn't take it seriously. Someone in mainstream media mentioned that LeBron James was putting his personal stats above the best interest of the team. And again, we go back to JJ Redick and whether a coach should be allowing that. And you got to remember that back when LeBron was having a terrible season in like 2021, and JJ was still an analyst or on a talk show, he told the world that it was more important to focus on the accomplishments of an individual. Like, screw it. Let's just forget about the season and focus on what LeBron can get. Like, he actually said that back then. Pretty good match. Pretty good match to be LeBron's coach/manager, huh? Well, that's going to do it. Pretty long video. There's a lot more incriminating footage for me to share of LeBron James from that game, but this should suffice for now. Let me know what you thought.